It's been a long time since him and I have been able to link up and to talk. So we got to catch up and we got to talk about all the amazing things he has going on. He goes by the name Echelon Knoxx. And he's pretty dope. If you saw the video on my page earlier today, then you know I'm not lying to you, okay? So, ooh, looks like he's in here. All right, I see you. Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Let me go ahead and get Knoxx in here. There we go.
How we doing? We all right? We good?
We good. We good. All right. Your Wi-Fi wrong.
I know, right? That's
Echelon people to you. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. You breaking up on me a little bit over there, but I got a little bit of what you said. I'm doing good, though.
I'm just getting the people acquainted with you. Yeah, so Echelon. And how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm at my studio right now. So, I'm getting some work in. I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. I don't really do the live thing, man. But, for you, had to pop out real fast. You know what I mean?
Yes. Thank you. And it looks like you are in the studio getting some work done.
Absolutely. Gotta be. This my home. This my home right here.
Look, I was just telling the people that it's been a long time since the last time I've seen you. Well, I think it was like my second or third year at Radio 1, well, Urban 1 now. And you were at Women's Empowerment, right? You were about
that was no... Well, I think I saw you up here first, and then you end up going down North Carolina. Or was we down North Carolina when I saw you?
North Carolina at the Women's Empowerment.
Right. But you told me you was from up here, up in this area.
Right, you know it. Yes.
I remember. That's one of the things God bless me with good memory. That's one of the things I'm grateful for. He blessed me with good memory.
Look, I can remember everything except the name when I need it.
Absolutely. Right.
Thank me, okay? But I've been catching up on you. Look, before we go any further, happy anniversary. I know you just celebrated, 4 years with the lovely lady?
Yeah, my anniversary is July 30th, but we celebrated a little early this year. We went on a little getaway. We still got to stay safe with the corona out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to mask up and all that, but we was good. We had a good time. Left the baby boy out. So when we say we enjoyed each other.
Look, you need that time. So I absolutely get it. And where did you guys go?
We just went down. We went down the street. We went to VA Beach. We didn't do too much. We didn't want to go too far, whatever, because a lot of I want to try. We just did something that was right down the street, something safe. We weren't too far away.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I feel you on that. How have you and the fam been, staying safe and positive, really, during this time? Like you said, you had to duck off for just a second.
I had to do that today. Because my wife, she working from home. Man, I be out getting on the road or go to studios, different sessions, getting different work done and stuff like that. So I be having to just challenge myself and tell myself to sit down and be a father, be a husband first, because so much of the stuff that be going on, especially with Corona. Me and my guys, we trying to take every advantage that we can and do different adventures. And for the most part, it's been a lot on my plate, and I just be having to just settle down. You know what I mean? I
can totally relate to that, especially like you said, having a child.
Gotta get it back. You breaking up on me a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I got you.
Look, I don't know what's going on here. Let me see if this
is all good.
Why is it so hard for you to factor me into your life? I gotta go your way.
Are you back? I see you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
It's much different than doing an interview on the radio, right? Like,
but you gotta keep it moving, no matter which way you're doing. You know it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But no, look, I've been getting acquainted with your story.
Uh-huh.
And I truly applaud you. I saw that, you know, you had a point in your life where you got in a little trouble. Had to learn some things the hard way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what was that turning point for you? You know, when you were like, okay, yeah, I got to tighten up.
Right. I think for me, man, it came, you know, I would say I've been saved for about since 2000, I say like 13, 14. But like, it's really, man, you know, when you out there in the streets, man, and you being raised up like the way we was raised up, you at a point where you trying to get money, you trying to get everything that everybody put into your mind as success. You out there, you trying to get that, you trying to fulfill that promise. But then it got to a point for me, I was locked up. I done, you know, messed up, taking my mother through so much stuff and, you know, selling drugs and all that. And it got to a point where I just kept finding myself right back in the same spot. And I was like, you know what, man, it's got to be a different route that I can take. And see, a lot of people, they use religion when they get locked up or whatever. They use religion as a way to, like, some people say, like, you want to just use religion as a way to be, like, not be tough or you just stuck a way out. But for me, it was really like an experience that it wasn't the fact that I was in there and I was like scared or anything, but it was more so like, man, I'm in prison right now. You know, what am I doing? I can't make no dreams come true while I'm in prison. So when I got out, I was still battling between my ways. But when the moment I came home, I was like, I'm gonna just try to make a different decision. You know what I mean? So that was really like the turning point. Like just got to a point where nothing was just like working out for me. And not saying that God made everything perfect, but it got to a point where at least I know my desires now match up at a different level. I ain't looking to please nothing else but God. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was your wake up call.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand that. And through all of this, have you always had a passion for music? When did that hit you?
Oh yeah. So the thing is, I was always around it for the longest. Like it was in the secular scene though. Like my guy BJ Banks, he's still doing this thing, man, around my neighborhood. Like it was a lot of talent around there, but I was never like taking rap serious. Like I was more so like just supporting my friends, supporting my men, and but every time I rap, one of my best friends, who was my best man in my marriage, he was like, man, bruh, you got a talent. If you get your talent to God, man, you're going to do something crazy with it. But I'm like, man, I don't want to be no Christian rapper. To this day, I was like, I don't even know how this even happened. You know what I mean? So, like, but the moment it happened, it was like, it went from, making one song. I remember the first time I made my very first Christian song, I made a secular song in the same day. But then the next time I went to the studio, it was like, hold on, more and more Christian songs are being made. And so I think the way God saved me and did it through music was like the best transition because it wasn't like no moment I was just sitting in the church and God was like saved my life. Even though that can happen for some people. But for me, it was like a transition for real. It was like, I'm going to keep just tugging on you. I'm going to keep tugging on you. And then like, I'm going to show you that there's really no other way that you should be living. You know what I mean? So that's when and like I was saying, like I literally, and the crazy part about it, I got introduced to Urban One or whatever so early in my rap career because it was like really my first CD where I got introduced to Urban One and so many things took off at that moment. So in 2013, when I made the decision that like actually take it full blown and link up with my management, that's when things just kind of went crazy. It went crazy from there.
Absolutely. And look, God makes no mistakes. Look at you, boy.
Yeah, facts. Real.
And you mentioned it a little bit. So before you were Sonny Knoxx. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the name? Okay. Sonny. After you gave your life to Christ, you changed the name to Echelon Knoxx. And I really like why you say you changed the name to Echelon. Can you tell that story for the people who are seeing this for the first time?
Yeah, and one of my best man, he was telling me, bro, don't do that because I Sonny Knoxx was such like it was like a character to me. It was a different personality. Like it represented. Sonny Knoxx was just like it got real good, real known like around the area, and it was just like the ladies man. It was like the playboy, the one who getting the money, the one who out here just saying anything recklessly, all tattoos all everywhere, like just fancy and fly and all that. But then when I started rapping, I was like, man, I can't continue to. Like, that name don't even fit what I'm doing right now. And sometimes I still be thinking about, like, going back to that name because I really love that name. But it just didn't fit, you know what I mean? So when I looked up the word upper echelon, it just simply meant a higher rank, right? And so it means that we living on a different level. I'm on a different level than what I was on echelon. I mean, with Sonny Knoxx. So for me, the reason why I stuck with it was because it's a constant reminder that I gotta live on a different level. Like, so it's anytime I like think about being anything other than living up to what I'm supposed to be, my name reminds you of that. And I think God did that all through the Bible. He named people certain things that meant something, and I think that was a constant reminder to them that like this is your name. You need to live by that. You need to stand on that. You know what I mean? So that's why I really stuck with it. And to this day, I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is.
Yeah. Listen, I love that. The name, I liked the name before, but hearing that story just makes me like it even more, right?
Yeah.
But like you said, you know, coming from Sonny Knoxx to now Echelon Knoxx, how do you feel? Is there a difference now? Do you feel going through the music industry versus before?
So that what you mean? What you mean by that? What you mean? Like
how do you feel personally? Do you feel like a different person completely? You know.
Yeah, I think so honestly, because the thing was like I went through a lot of like to be honest. If people was to know me as Sonny, I would probably went viral 1,000 because I used to just say and do anything like. It was just ratchet, right? So I say the way I like it took a long time for me to like really get comfortable like with the Christianity thing because and being in the industry because I'm like you gotta walk on like a tightrope almost, you know what I mean? You gotta play it safe. So I think the industry for me, I was still like for so long I was just getting used to it because like I said, I got exposed to the industry so early in my career. So I was still just getting so used to it. So I think I really wasn't like too in the industry when I was Sonny Knoxx. But Echelon just and you know I done seen the top of the mountain when you know what I mean over this side and it's like yeah.
Now, look, I know you probably really got a testimony in regards to, you know, I was listening to you talk about that transition for you as man coming into Echelon Knoxx. How did your friends and your inner circle, how did they support that transition at first?
Yeah, so I think, like I said, it was so quiet. I think it kind of like caught people off guard because I just popped out one day with a gospel song and I wish you could I really wish I still had that picture. It was like some type of picture had to pray. It was real corny. It was tough. It was tough. To me it was tough. It was corny though, but had the prayer hands going and I mean a lot of people was like I think for the longest, a lot of people was like, hold on. You're telling me this dude is now doing this? So for like the first 2 years, I feel like the eyes was like, I want to see how long he going to keep this up. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I had a lot of support in my corner. One of my best friends, his name's Stefan Lindsay, Showtime. It started off as a management type thing, but like, he was a part of my wedding and everything. And God used him alone to just like in the beginning of my career. I remember we'd just be having car rides, and he had just like he felt that need to just like keep me spiritually grounded because I come off the streets. You know what I mean? I don't really know too much of anything. I ain't had no Christian friends. You know, all my friends is in the streets. They still are. You know what I mean? So, but for the most part, the reason why I'm grateful for the friends that I got, because we can still be in a group chat right now. They respect where I'm at. I don't got to compromise nothing, but I still understand where they at because I've been there, so we can have a conversation. I be like, yeah, I can relate to that. You know what I mean? We can talk and we know that. You know what I mean? So that like I think God gave me a special group of friends, and I'm just grateful, man. I'm super grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I ask because you hear so many times people say, I lost a lot of good friends when I made the decision. And, at the end of the day, not everybody can come.
Let me say this, though. At the same time, I ain't losing a lot of friends because I don't got a lot of friends. You know what I mean? Like, I keep my circle tight. You get me? Like, my circle is tight. So, it's like, man, I can't, it's an honor for me to even consider you a friend. And that's something I'm working on now. Like, I don't just consider everybody my friend. You know what I mean?
I'm the exact same way. If I call you my friend, you better put that as a badge of honor because don't nobody get
Absolutely.
Now you mentioned earlier, you touched on a little bit the tightrope they try to put Christian artists on, and it seems like a lot of some gospel artists, I say, are attempting to work outside of their genre a lot more. Tasha Cobbs Leonard had a song with Nicki Minaj. Snoop Dogg, I believe he worked with Marvin Sapp and a few others. So, with that being said, who's someone you would possibly want to collaborate with within the Christian artist genre or outside of the Christian artist genre?
Yeah, I think, man, and that's a great question because I think I'm finally at the point in my career where I'm really, really trying to find, people that's on the same wave as me. And it's crazy because you'll find a lot of people that's even in the Christian industry that ain't really about, what they even talking about or whatever. But to be honest, I find myself really, really wanting to work with a lot of people that I grew up with because it's something special in that, right? So, and I ain't gonna lie to you, Tia, they straight secular, you know what I mean? Like they grimy, but I love so when they hit me up and they like, man, we gotta do a track together and stuff like that. I always told them for like the last 4 years, me and one of my best friends, BJ, we've been wanting to do music for a long time, but I was so like my mind was like, do I do this right now? And I feel like at that point in my career, it wasn't time. But now, anybody that I come across, especially in the streets, if I could got a chance to get on your track and preach the gospel or just speak where I come from and how it turned out. But so for me right now, at first, I was at a point where I'm like, all right, it's a lot of people outside of the DMV that I wanted to work with. But God shifted my heart, and I'm like, man, I need to stay home. Like, so I want to work with so many people that's home, so many local artists like myself, you know what I mean? And let us all get it off the ground because we never had the biggest platform for inspirational music in DC. So that's always been our heart, to stay here. And so you got your Ray Duckers, you got my man Live, you got my man Foggy Raw. Foggy, that's me. That's one of my, I don't know if you're familiar with Foggy, but Foggy doing this thing, and that's one of my guys. We supposed to be working on something soon too. So, man, it's a lot of people that's right here that I'm like, man, it's so much talent and dope stuff in the DMV. I don't need to go nowhere else. You know what I mean? Let's work here. Yeah,
I agree.
And one of the things I think anybody can use this. One of the things one of my mentors told me, they said to everybody want to network up, but sometimes you got to network side by side with the ones that's right beside you. You're too busy trying to get your foot up, but you got people that's right beside you who can help build your foundation together. You know what I mean? So that's for whoever.
You done dropped a whole bomb on that one, right?
Hey, my cash out, Enoch saying I'll just
right, no, just my name for that one, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And since you are a Christian artist, a Christian-based rapper, would you say that stigma of, he can only rap about this or collaborate with that, do you think that tide is kind of changing finally, or do you feel like there's still a little bit more of a push that needs to be made?
Yeah, and I got a whole album called whatever you want to call it. So it pretty much, it's like I see a Christian rapper. He's a rapper first of all, they got to think is you a Christian rapper? Are you a rapper that's a Christian? Like, are you gospel? I'm just like, man, it's whatever you want to call it, man. Just know I do believe in Jesus Christ, and I come from a place that's real, that's grimy, and that's the music that you get. And so I feel like we at a time where, man, you really gotta like, I feel like you really got to know where your relationship at before you do music outside of what you believe. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you really spiritually found, if your spiritual foundation is solid, like, and you feel like God gave you a go, but it's all, to me, with all the music that I make, I always question myself, like, what's the mission? You know what I mean? What's the mission behind this? You know what I mean? What's the point behind this? If we just doing anything, if we going any way, and then sometimes you got to question the integrity behind what you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think, at the same token, I feel like a lot of people, they put a box around, like, who Christians should work with, but you ain't gonna tell a Christian person that work at a bank or a casino, you ain't gonna sit up here and question what she doing, like having a secular way to feed her family. But the moment a Christian hip hop artist or a Christian or a gospel artist feed their family in a different way, you know what I mean? It's almost like what's there. So, you know, it goes both ways, but I know where I'm at with it. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. And it sounds like you do. And I know it's important for you to know who you are and stand firm on it, especially in the entertainment industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, with that being said, has anybody ever attempted to change your sound? Have you been through that personally? You know, someone saying, listen, how about you know, just tweak this a little bit, and you had to, again, stand on who you are.
Nah, I mean, I think by the grace of God, man, that really ain't. So I think one of the dynamics that me and Show got, you know what I mean, who was my manager for a long time. One of the dynamics is the fact that he keep me grounded. Like he let me be me. Like because he know what I got in due time. What I got is important, and that's one of the things that we always want to do. We always want to keep a pure message. And so, to be honest here, I don't even listen to a whole lot of outside music. Like I stay connected to people that I support. You know what I mean, and see what's relevant. You know, I keep up with the genre, to support the genre as much as possible and stuff like that. But I always wonder. I don't want to feel like I gotta compromise and go this wave or go to the next wave in order to fit in. But I do my homework to know what's relevant. So that way, if I'm going to go, you know, do a song, I ain't 3 years behind. You know what I mean? I'm still up. Same person who can hear beat an 808 in a club, they come and they see one of my shows and they can still rock out the same way. So I mean, that's my dynamic.
And you touched on something I was gonna get to myself. The fact that I was listening to your music and I love how you seem unafraid to kind of merge that spiritual connection with the streets and what's going on and staying connected. And I was gonna ask, is that intentional or, you know,
this is me? I swear to God, I don't know what to tell. It's really just me. Like that's what I am. It's like I come from the street. I'm connected with everybody that I grew up with. Like I'm really connected. Like most of the time I talk to so many people that's really not even Christians. Like that's my day to day. But I love the Lord. And that's one of my newest songs. The hook is I love the Lord, but got the streets in me. Like, cause that's really my life. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of music I produce. And so it's really. And that's why I tell, like, I'm in a group chat with also different artists and stuff like that. And one of my biggest perspectives, my biggest point is stay true to what's you. And in due time, God will get that thing an avenue. He'll give it a lane. That's what I do. I don't intentionally be like, oh, this song don't sound churchy enough or this song don't sound street enough. Yeah. I make what God give me, man. Sometimes it come out and it's a choir on it. And sometimes it come out, I'm talking about, you know, where I come from. And that's how I go, man. So that's just me. I don't really do nothing outside of that.
Absolutely. And you know, you pretty much summed up your sound for us because, like, your single "Water," you know, that was received so well by praise stations and even, you know, just hip hop stations and R&B stations. Because the truth of the matter, I mean, is you don't have to listen to just one set of music to prove that you love the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And I totally I can feel you on that. And you know, you also had a song that I posted on my page today. I don't know if you saw it. Did you peep it?
I ain't see it. But I don't got no. And I don't get notifications that come to my phone either. Like all of them, just like I keep that Instagram like on Instagram, but I'm sorry I didn't see that yet.
So you can kind of disconnect a little bit, right?
Yeah. Like once I post something, I can just get away from it. I don't got to worry about the likes. I don't got to worry about who commenting.
I can feel you, and it's good to disconnect a little bit from media and all that good stuff.
But what you post? What song you post?
I mean, so your video when you were on your vacation, the video of you in the hotel room giving us a of the song. I love that, by the way. You got to tell us a little bit about that. Are you about to drop that? What's going on?
To be honest, I wrote that song. I was in my studio, and I. So what happened with my wife was kind of mad about that, but she was frustrated because we went out of town. We left out of town on Thursday, but it was Wednesday night when I'm just driving. I got my wife in the car, I got my son in the back, and I'm listening. I be listening to beats sometimes, just riding, just listening to beats. And God gave me the hook. It was like 6:30 at night. I'm like, babe, I gotta go to the studio. She like, you ain't even pack, or you're not even ready to leave in the morning. I'm like, I gotta go. And so I drive to the studio. I just had a little bit of hook, and then my little secret, I don't write my music. Like I wait till I get to the studio to record. Like I don't really write. So I get here. I ain't have no ad-lib. I just had like a little piece of a hook, and I stayed here till about 12 o'clock, and I was just, I got the verse out the way. And then, it was so funny to me, I ended up crying, you know what I mean? Because it's like, when you think about what I said, it's like God gave me a crown before an op gave me a halo. To all my churchy people, an op is pretty much the opposition, the enemy, the people who don't want you to win, all that. But so I thought about like growing up, like we was really getting shot at. You know what I mean? It was a lot of us who didn't make it. You know what I mean? And I said I felt so special because I felt like God was like, I know you're going through these tribulations, but I'm not going to take you off this world yet because I haven't given you your crown yet. So before you got saved, even though all this stuff was happening to you, before you got saved, I ain't taking you off this world yet because I haven't given you my crown yet. And so it's like, before anybody got a chance to even kill me and give me a halo, God gave me a crown first. So now I can live confident knowing if I die tomorrow, I got my crown before I got my halo. You know what I mean? So that's what that came. That's what that came about. I don't even know the name of the song yet. I called it Halo, but then I don't want to put too much emphasis on the fact that somebody's trying to give me a halo. So I'm like, man, I don't even know what I'm gonna call it yet. You know what I mean? So
I was just calling it Grateful because I was like,
grateful.
but just give me my little credit, on the bottom of the album. That's all I like.
Send me your BMI. I put you all in there. I got you.
Bet that. Say less. But so okay, was this the record that was produced by what? Racks the Wave, is it?
Yeah, Racks the Wave. And I actually that's a producer who worked hand in hand with my man BJ Banks. Like one thing, BJ Banks, secular artist, that's one of my best friends growing up as well. And man, one of the things I love, he been rapping since we was about, a lot of you not, I swear, we was probably like 8. Honestly, he been rapping and doing it for a long time. And one of the things I loved about him is the fact that no matter what, it's like we always stay connected and we share whatever ideas I got on this side. You know what I mean? I bounced it off to him. When I had certain meetings with Urban One or whatever, I would bounce it off to him, and he'll bounce it off the same thing. Like, and so he shared this producer, Racks the Wave, and then me and him ended up, connecting. And so that's how that came about.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So, are you working on like a new album?
Yeah. When I tell you, I got so much music just waiting. It's like we just gotta game plan it. You know what I mean? And figure out a way to get it to the people. So many people just been asking me and all that, but it's like, I swear, it's probably, man, it's so much music that's just waiting to be sent off. You know what I mean? And so, but just know it's gonna be coming soon. We coming soon.
Yeah. Now, I know you're probably trying to work around the pandemic. And COVID-19 and all that. I mean, how has all of this affected you creatively? I like to ask that question because, some people tend to thrive off of, the isolation and having a little bit of time, and others are like, nah, I gotta get out. I gotta be fed.
Right. So for me, it's like I said, it's been a blessing because I think me and my wife strategically like was trying to format our schedules and stuff like that. But man, I created so like I was just able to have so much time to just think about like what I want to do, what different routes I want to go about, and man, so much stuff was taking up my time. But one thing God always had, like, He just give me music, like, and that's why here's the thing. It's scary because, like I said, I can't sit down and write. Like a lot of artists, they go to the studio any day of the week. They'll just sit down and just write something and just write. For me, it's everything. It's like it got to come to like God just give it to me. You know what I mean? And so that's when I know it's different seasons in my life. It's like at one season I could just be dry. It could just be dry. You know what I mean? I'd be like, man, God ain't give me that, but I don't be worried. I be like, all right, God, when you gonna do it? But it's like then the next, before you know it, it's like it's just coming. It's just coming for real. So pause. It's just, but it's an overflow. it's an overflow of the music that just coming. Pause. And you know what? I don't really do that. But this group chat, you gotta watch what you say, man. But anyway, so
like that be the one little clip that they take.
Yeah. So, and it's like, man, but yeah, so that's so right now, it's like God's just been giving me a lot of music right now, man. So I'm really grateful for the season in my life.
Absolutely. And, you know, your music tends to resonate with a lot of young people and young adults, you know, and which is definitely a great thing. And knowing that, you know, you've impacted a lot of youth from, you know, like you said, from our hometown, DC, to gospel, you know, and so what is the message that you want people who listen to your music to kind of get? What is if there was just one? I know it's probably a few things.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, like I said, my heart is always to go back to the same streets that I was saved from. And so the biggest thing that I be wanting people to know is like righteousness, relevancy, like real, like you don't. It's not. See, a lot of people view Christianity as you need to go in the closet one day, put on a 3-piece suit, start talking different, get your hair cut, and all that. But I'm like, now through my music, I want people to see that you can still be relevant to a certain degree. You can still, you know, live life and have fun. Me and my friends, my group of friends, a lot of them married, have a ton of fun. You'll come around us and you'll probably have the best time of your life. You understand me? And so it's like, I'm trying to get that through. And I would say, like, my message is, and the internal message for me and my team, it's like we think about the one. Like the moment you start thinking about too much or the masses and stuff like that, if God give you that, so be it. You know what I mean? But it's all about the one that we can impact. You know what I mean? And so that's what keep us grounded. That's what keep us rooted for real. And so like that's our biggest thing. You know what I mean? Like just continue to and try to inspire one by one. And before you know it, God will give it to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, amen.
Yeah, right.
Now, how can people get more of your music? Like, how, since you, like you say, you know, you got the music overflowing over there, so we want to get it. How can we stay posted on what you have going on?
Man, just stay connected to my Instagram, stay connected to like the YouTube and stuff like that. But majority, I put a lot of stuff out on the Instagram, and I'm gonna start doing better. With just making sure I stay connected with my people. Like I'm gonna start doing this live stuff more. I know it's certain things that I gotta get down with and all that, but you know, I just come from a place that like I just be wanting my music to speak for itself. I don't really be trying to do too much with the camera and all that. Like I told you, back in my Sonny Knoxx days, I'd have been all up in that camera, shirt off, all that. But now that